Hey, how you doing? Rob here with the Saturday Grove, and I hope you're well. Today I'm going to try and put words to something that's actually nigh on impossible to describe. When we go on magical spiritual journeys, there is the stuff we read, there's the stuff that we learn that way, and there is the inspired stuff. I always say stuff. The inspired stuff, that which becomes just part of our knowing rather than our knowledge. It's our wisdom, it's our experience, and a little bit like the Tao, the Tao that can be described as not the Tao or talked about, or however that goes. This is one of those things. I'm going to fill in a little bit on my own journey. It's been a fascinating trip, and part of it has been going and looking at early Celtic Christian spirituality and mysticism off the back of the Druidry, but also then finding from that, and to a point, from Hermetics to through ritual work to basically strip away everything, and there's one unequivocal, one true reality. And I've hinted at this in other stuff. Within that reality is everything we need, everything we are, and the illusion is that we're not part of it. Trying to describe to you the sense of this is quite a challenge. Living in the awareness of the presence, that which is divine, God, gods, however you choose to identify the one, which the one is not fussed about being identified. just drop that in. There is no identity to the one. Everything and nothing, and all things in between, and the moment you put your finger on it, it's no longer the one. Again, like the Tao. We can find all that we need to within that, but we have to stop using the rituals and the practices as though they're going to bring something to us. As though they're going to, like, there's something that's not here, something that I don't have, that if I have it, I can be a better person, I can be enlightened, I can be at one. And this is the catch, you see, because as long as you're going, I have to do this. I mean, I have books and books and books and books and books, and have spent hours in meditation and practice over the years, studying and learning and getting to the point where I realized that if none of these books existed in my life, I still have everything that I need to be in that reality, to be in that space of oneness. That the only thing I have to do is stop and observe and witness. I'm recording this on the Saturday between Good Friday and Easter Sunday. That's that time when Jesus was in the tomb. That's a stop point. That's where the old is gone. There's just now, in this moment, that rest, that stillness, before moving into something greater. But that something greater isn't something that's separate. It's something that we already are. As somebody who's trained in person-centered counseling and also as, in NLP and hypnosis, hypnotherapy, very much believe that we have everything within us on that level, resources, understandings, or the ability within us to generate them, to be able to become and function as better people. Better people, I don't mean good and bad, I mean just better, more fully, more congruence, more whole. Because, again, and I'm going to allude to the books that surround me, each one of these, to a point, is peddling the idea that you're not complete. Each one is peddling the idea that you need to search for something outside of yourself. The fact that I can reach out and grab some of those books says that at some point I have felt that that holds something inside that I need, that's not part of me. And yet you can tell, first of all, that this isn't planned. It's not scripted, hence having to go and get the books. But anyway, I digress. Each book on this shelf ticks a box of some aspect where I've gone, I need that because it has something that I don't already have. Every ritual I've done ticks the box of, I must do this because this has something that I feel I need that I don't already have. And I did already have it. The money I could save, the money I will save you if you're just starting on your journey. Literally, keep it simple, meditate, enter stillness, ask that you can strip away the filters and the blocks that stop you from seeing that which is the oneness, the divineness. We cannot be separate. It's like saying that the wave is separate to the ocean, you know. It can't be. It cannot be separate to the ocean. It is a part of something much vaster and much bigger, and we are a part of that vastness. And it can be really easy and tempting, especially nowadays where we're conditioned from birth to want to have stuff, to buy stuff. We gain through acquiring. But that's not actually the case. When I was doing life coaching, the amount of people that were coming to me who had lots. I mean, these are people with a lot more money than I've ever had. You know, I'm happy to say, to be honest, a lot more money than I've ever had. They got nice cars. They got a couple of houses, maybe a couple in Britain, or maybe they got one abroad. They're you know, and they're still going, Rob, I need something. Maybe you have it. That's something that can make me feel whole and complete, like I am. And that's partly why, I mean, my study in Druidry went from Druidry to early Celtic Christianity, because I figured that if there were any traces of ideas and frameworks, I'm going to say, left over from Druid practices, I figured they would possibly be appearing in the early Celtic Christianity. Although we have to remember there's quite a gap between the disappearance of Druids in Britain, certainly not so much in Ireland and here, but then the Celtic Church comes over from Ireland. So it's kind of, there's the possibility, and there isn't this big purging and scouring when Christianity comes. The Romans, who did a lot to get rid of Druids in Britain, and they did so at a time when they were pagan, and this sometimes gets lost. It gets lost. People go, oh, bloody Christians wiped out the Druids, and then they didn't. Pagans wiped out pagans. Druids were wiped out by pagan Romans at that point in time. So there's that continuation idea, theory, possibilities, and so that's what led me into it. And I found something there that it might not be authentic, but it doesn't need to be. It really doesn't need to be. Whatever path you're treading, whatever way you're walking, doesn't need to be ancient and authentic and justified. You could have gone out to see a band play. Maybe you're a bit of a metaler, a bit of a rocker, and you're in the mosh pit and your head's flying around and bang! Oh, you clunk heads with somebody else and it concusses you and it knocks you out and you're on the floor. Your friends, because you got good friends, drag you over to the corner of the room, tip a pint of beer over your head to wake you up and go, dude, are you all right? That hasn't happened to me. point this out. It could sound like I'm speaking from experience. At least I don't think it's happened to me. Anyway, and in that moment when you banged your head, it catapults your brain somewhere. I don't know, maybe there's a line from this last song you remember that triggered a thought that sent your brain on a journey down a wormhole, down a tunnel, that you wake up from that and you just go, I think if in every day I create space to be by myself, to be silent, you're not by yourself. It's really tricky to talk about yourself. You're not by yourself. You can't be by yourself because you are part of the one. That's like saying, right, I mean, the only way your arm can ever not be a part of you is if you have it chopped off and then it's over there. It's still your arm. Weirdly, people can still feel it. You get like phantom limb pain. So, you know, suddenly you've come up with a practice. It's your practice. And you decide that for half an hour every day, your practice is finding a quiet space, taking several deep breaths, humming your favourite tune that you were listening to just before you got concussed, whilst thinking about the vastness of it all, and then finishing it off with a cup of tea or a beer. It's not authentic. It's not ancient. I bet if you look back there was something similar. But that doesn't matter, because what matters is whatever your practice is working for you. It's bringing you that peace, and it's breaking that barrier and destroying the illusion that you are separate from the all. Everything you need, everything that exists within your awareness. And your awareness is the awareness of the divine, being aware of itself and you. And yet we're still reaching. We still reach out. We reach out to our gods, Wiccans. Summon, stir and call you up. Why? Because you're not here. Oh, spirits of the east there. Summon, stir and call you. I call on thee, O great goddess and great god Pan. Because in my world you're not here unless I have to call you. But that's not how the divine works. If you want your magic, if you want your rituals to become something exceptional, break that barrier, that concept that your gods are separate and they're not here. You don't have to call the divine, because the divine is everywhere, in everything. The very words that I'm speaking are of the divine. That I'm not saying I'm channeling the divine, I'm just saying they are of. It's a part of. The thoughts, the energy firing the thoughts, whatever the hell's going on in here to create the spiel is a divine act. In the same way Crowley, said that every act with intent is a magical act. Every act is a divine act, because we are all one. We are all part of that. And as long as you're reaching out there, as long as you're reaching for the candles, the stuff to hang on your walls to make you feel pagan or magical, trust me, I'm surrounded by the tack. The wallpaper you have on your screen, on your computer, it's got little fairies and sparkly bits on it. As long as you're using all that because you feel that whatever you need to be this magical, enlightened being is out there, you will never get there. The enlightenment, the oneness you seek, is yours. It always has been. And what if, instead of reaching for something outside yourself, you could simply notice what's already here? That presence, that awareness. Because in the end, that awareness is the same awareness that moves through all things. Not separate, not distant. It's here, right now, with us. And the moment you step into that, it doesn't need to be found. It is already here. It always has been. So right now, without needing to change anything, without needing to do anything, you can just let yourself notice the awareness behind the thoughts, the space where everything arises. And in that space, there's no pushing, no striving, no trying, just being. Feel that wherever you notice that now. It's simple. Nothing to do. Just notice the presence of life right here with you. And in this space, everything feels a little lighter, does it not? Because in truth, this is all part of you. You're not separate from it. From the moment you step into this, nothing needs to be forced. It's just here. And now, without doing anything, you can notice how things begin to shift. The way you're feeling. The way your breath moves a little more easily. The way the world around you feels just a little more aligned. Take your time here. And maybe in this moment, you do not need to rush for answers. You can just be with what is. Because it's already happening. The answers are already here. And you, being in this place, are in full alignment with them. And you can carry this with you, this awareness, into anything that comes next. Just knowing that the change, the shift, it happens when you notice what's already real. And when we do notice what is already real, I mean, what is here, that presence, the work is done. Then it's just a case of learning to hold that awareness and bring it into our everyday, into our work, into our waking, our sleeping, into our joys and our pleasures, and into the everyday. Because the spiritual challenge, the magical challenge, isn't to become separate. It is to just realize that wholeness and connectedness, to truly take our place as an expression of the one, of the divine, of the gods. And that's where I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave you with that thought, those ideas. I really hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you're enjoying the channel. I'm really enjoying sharing this stuff with you. If you are, do like, do subscribe, whatever it is we do on YouTube. Put up for the notifications, so when the new stuff comes up, you get the notifications. Tell your friends, share it with people. If you're liking this, share it. Spread it like butter on a nice piece of freshly baked bread. Anyway, much love, many blessings, and I will see you next week for the Saturday Grove. Keep an ear out for the shorts during the week. Do feel free to comment, chat. I love hearing from you. Many blessings, and a shout out to Lindsay for starting to communicate and connect. That's a wonderful thing over in, I think it was California. Much love to you too. Have a good one. Take care. Bye bye.